Yeah, I'm standing by with a special guest. This is a gentleman named David Dunnington. Very special story here. Great news. He had melanoma. He is now in remission due to immunotherapy. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But he actually says, he admits he sometimes forgets, which is great news, that he actually had to have his leg amputated because of complications during the treatment. However, he will be riding his bike 100 miles tomorrow as a part of Obliterate. Dave, thanks for being here.
That's right.
We want to share people your story because it's truly inspiring, not only that you're in remission, but your diagnosis was a curveball, to say the least.
It was a curveball. I had melanoma that formed on the bottom of my foot, and most people think skin cancer should be on the outside.
Right.
So I didn't see it for a while, and it moved into stage 4 metastatic full-blown cancer, and for 2.5 years I did everything to try to cure it, of course, and nothing worked. Until the very end, my doctor called and said, would you like to participate in a trial that was done at the Fred Hutch, and I said, absolutely, I'll do anything to try to save my life, and lo and behold, it worked.
And we should talk about that because, traditional therapies, chemo, radiation didn't quite work, so when you hear about these clinical trials, these experimental things, quite frankly, Fred Hutch does it better than anyone else, and that's why we're here to raise money, to continue that innovative research. But you had to go into it, obviously, concerned about your life, but also concerned about the treatments because the traditionals did not work. What happened? Well,
the traditionals did not work, and it also included amputating my lower leg, and so I have a prosthetic. But when you're trying to survive, you just about want to do and will do anything, and the immunotherapy was one of those options, and so I said yes, and the doctor said out of 100 people, 20 will get a good response. Out of those 20, 1.5 people will have an enduring response, and I happen to be one of those 1.5 people. And so the question is, why me? And that's what this research is all about, and that's what the funding goes towards, is to find out why do some people respond to drugs and others don't. And it's the Hutch, it's SCCA, the UW Hospital, all of these 3 organizations working together is a unique situation for the Northwest.
Well, David, I love your story. It's incredibly inspiring. It is totally unique, so it's important that people do understand, like you said, that you hear something like melanoma, you assume it's from the sun, it must be obvious, it must be visible. For you, it was on the bottom of your foot. They had to try new, innovative research. And you say, which I find terribly fascinating, but I think I understand the meaning behind it, that cancer cured you. Talk about that.
Well, when you want to live and you have cancer, all you're thinking about is how you're going to survive, and it begins to make you think that each moment truly is special, and cancer survivors have that in common. We just really know that every day is a gift, and it's almost a cliche, but we tend to forget that. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of experience to remember that every day truly is a gift, and it's special, and that we kind of own that and can make it whatever we want. So cancer taught me that.
David Dunnington, thank you so much for sharing your story. Good luck on your 100-mile ride tomorrow. He's the man.
Thank you very much.
All right.